The question is still open whether the US Fed will revise its rhetoric in light of the recent inflation surge. Meanwhile, most analysts and investors share the viewpoint that the US Fed will stick to the ongoing ultra-loose monetary policy. Today, the regulator is expected to avoid any hints about tapering monetary stimulus. Let's find out how the market is trading just before the US Central Bank announces its policy decisions. Yesterday, all three benchmark stock indexes closed with a downtick. The S&P500 edged down 0.2%. Today, the index rebounded a bit to trade at 4,246. What's the underlying reason for this behavior of market participants? Investors are extremely sensitive to the prospects of soaring inflation in the United States in light of the fresh evidence of runaway inflation for 2 months in a row. If the regulator decides to maintain the federal funds rate at a record low, stock investors will feel relieved. The S&P 500 is expected to remain in the corridor of 4,200 to 4,280. On the other hand, if the Federal Reserve signals a rate hike sooner than later, this will set the stage for a downward correction in the stock market. The US dollar is also in suspense before the Fed statements. The US currency has been trading in a narrow range close to the highs since mid-May. Today, its index rose to 90.50. The expected range of 90 and 20 to 91 and 00 pushes the upper border even higher. Experts suppose that in case the US Fed drops hints about policy revision towards neutral, the greenback will advance sharply in response to 91 with a bullish outlook. The US dollar's rally looks stronger than the rally of oil prices. Analysts reckon that the bullish trend of oil prices is fed by several sources. Petroleum prices are picking up steam in parallel to the economic recovery in the United States. Other arguments are a halt in the talks between the Western countries and Iran on a revival of the previous nuclear deal, as well as oil production cuts by OPEC and its allies. The USD cut pair could climb to 1.2350 and even higher amid the broad-based growth of the US dollar. At the moment, the currency pair is trading at near 1.2180. It's likely to halt in the corridor of 1.2100 to 1.2250. Today, Bitcoin is trading lower as expected. The digital token reversed downwards after a minor climb in response to statements by Elon Musk. It's going without saying that the crypto market cannot depend entirely on Musk's verbal interventions, so Bitcoin declined to $39,200. On the whole, the US environment is not bullish for the crypto assets. Institutional investors are anticipating that Bitcoin will drop deeper to open long positions at comfortable levels. Hence, the number one cryptocurrency is expected to trade in the corridor of $38,800 to $40,000 per token. It can find temporary support from the news that MicroStrategy is planning to invest $1 billion in Bitcoin. Today, financial markets will get to know the Fed's stance on further monetary policy and the outlook for the US economy. No one doubts that the Fed's revision of rhetoric is sure to entail a large correction in the US stock market. Another event of major importance is the meeting between Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin in Switzerland today. Any positive outcome is hardly possible in view of polar opposite rhetoric and tense relations of the parties. We will keep you updated. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel and see you tomorrow.